Okay, so diagnosing your pump. Now this is a Wylo, it's actually a fairly modern one, hasn't done much work. The first thing to do is to, now bear in mind if your pump is in the system, there'll be water below this. Open the vent valve slightly, and obviously if you get a hiss or an escape of sort of steam, you want to leave it at that point. But once the system is cooled, you can then slowly remove that. Now do bear in mind, if you lose it, you've got a problem. Now one of the most common problems with these pumps is that the shaft will seize. Now what you can do, if you look down in there, you can put the tip of a screwdriver in and rotate just to check that it's free. If it's not, what you can do is just with the screwdriver, not too much force, just try to break it free. Now if you can't actually break it free with a screwdriver, then it's pretty much game over at that point. But now assuming you've actually got it free, it's rotating, and you can, as you can see by this, it's very easy to turn. You can then pop that back in again. Now obviously you're doing this with the power off as per my guides. Now, so assuming that's turning, that's okay. Power off again, you can go into the control box here. Now what you do, usually just one screw and out it comes. Now if you've got this plugged into the power, you're going to kill yourself, so be sensible. And off the top comes. Now you've got two things in here. You've got the start capacitor and you've got basically a speed sort of controller. 3 settings on it. Now there's not really that much you can do in here, but what you can do is you can lift this out. Now bear in mind this is a capacitor, so if the system has been on recently, this will be charged and there is the possibility of shock. And what you're looking for on this is you're looking for dripping of a brown fluid, cracks, splits, bulges, etc. Now don't get me wrong, this can look fine, no problem at all. It can look as it came out of the factory but still not work, but you can't really test that with the equipment we've got. So what you're doing is you're just looking, if you can see something obvious, a massive bulge, you know, it's dripping, it's leaking, then you can replace it. RS Components has got these. They're not much, but this is it's a bit of sort of stretch to go that far. Obviously be careful of the wires there, and then put that back in. Now other than that, the only things you can really check in here are, is it burnt? Can you smell? Is there any smell of electrical burning, etc.? If not, you're pretty much dead. Now, to tell whether your pump is actually functioning, when you find a problem, there's 3 situations you can be confronted with. The first is that your pump is, and touch it gently, is stone cold. That usually means that there's no power to the pump at all. Alternatively, your pump can be hot. Not sort of warm, but sort of hot. This is the usual sort of running situation of a pump, and the other alternative is it's absolutely raging hot. Raging hot will usually show you it's either empty of water, you know, no flow through it, so it's not cooling itself, or it's seized. Now, this isn't actually really covered in the guides, but just to show you, these pumps, don't do this with a system full of water obviously, because it will just end up pouring out on the floor. What you can do, by the way, those of you who've seen my guides, you'll know this is a Wylo because it just has 2 Allen bolts. What you can do is to split the pump, and this is what you've got. Now it is possible that the impeller has sheared off your pump. You can have a pump that runs perfectly well, but this actual drive piece has dropped off. I've only ever seen one, and the other alternative is that this is all full of muck and gunk from the system. The way your pump works, they don't usually split that easily, is that the impeller and its shaft run in the water, and then the remainder and the wiring is all separated from it. So what you're doing when you vent this is you're actually filling the body of the pump with water so that it's lubricated and it can run properly. Right, that's it for diagnosis of your pump. More to follow. Obviously, if you want to leave a comment, do, and please do follow my feed. Thank you.